Hello and thanks for joining us on the news desk at 6. We are live in Abuja. I am Vivian Ezadifi. We have with us in the studio Godwin EK, aviation analyst, to speak more on the incident. Welcome to our studio, sir.
Thank you very much, Vivian.
From information available, what do you make of the situation where an Abuja-bound airline found its way to Asaba?
Okay, I wasn't there, but two things are likely to be either of the two, likely to be what transpired. First of all, we have this group of people working for the airlines that, I describe their job as very thankless. They are the busiest and most serious-minded, but thankless in the sense that, if you get in there, it's a madhouse, and I'm talking about flight dispatchers. If you ask 100 passengers, boarding a plane, if they know any department or any group of people known as flight dispatchers, the likelihood is that 99 will say, we've never heard this word before, or this group of people. They know about the pilots, they know about the cabin crew and and the rest of them. But behind the scene, the real serious job, of getting passengers from point A to point B safely is done by the flight dispatchers. They organize the route you're going to take. They check the weather for you, and plan how that flight we go to get to the destination safely. They do all those and then hand over the folder to the pilots. And as far as the pilots are concerned, they are comfortably seated behind their instruments and waiting for the flight dispatcher's folder. And as soon as they bring them, whatever they see there is what they will execute. First of all, more often than not, they will need to be on autopilot as soon as they get to the appropriate altitude to turn on the auto, and they have no time to ask further questions other than take a look at the flight plan, and then feed in all the information they need to feed into the system, so that by the time they get off the ground and get to the appropriate altitude, they turn on the auto and the plane does the rest. So what could have happened might just have been that in the rush to attend to many other flights that are lined up for the day, one folder meant for Asaba has gone to an airplane meant for Abuja. And so inevitably the pilots executed what they found in front of them, and so they carried passengers that were meant for Abuja and headed to Asaba. Another possibility, remember I said I wasn't there, but from my knowledge, I am imagining what could have happened.
Own assessment.
Yes.
Blame here.
Well, if you talk about blame, I should think that the excessive pressure in the control room, that place where they do all the planning, there's so much pressure there. And they're so behind the scene that nobody even knows that they exist. And there's so much hard work going on there. In the confusion, there's likelihood that somebody must have passed on a folder that was meant for Asaba to an Abuja-bound airplane, and the pilots had only one business: execute what's been handed over to them. And so I would say I don't want to even blame the dispatchers, to tell you the truth. These people are very hard working. They work hardest. I don't know how much they are paid, to tell you the truth. I don't know. But if there are group of people that should be paid more in the aviation industry, is the flight dispatchers, because they guarantee the safety of the flight. They watch the weather. They watch the you know the all the other planes in the skies. Decide what altitude that you maintain, where you go up and where you come down. They decide everything, and they have them all documented and handed to you know, to pilots. So there must have been some, you know, little confusion in that hurry to dispatch, you know, quite you know, a couple of flights that were, you know, running late, and in the process a wrong folder got into the hands of you know, pilots who executed them, and we ended up in this mess. Another possibility, quickly, another possibility is a fact. Yes, is a fact that an airplane can be dispatched properly, but then halfway they get information that their route is not safe and that they can go to the nearest airport to land. And then, of course, in that case, the pilots would have gotten information from the nearest control tower, and then they head to that direction without telling the crew in the cabin.
But briefly,
yes.
As an expert in the industry, how do you expect NACA to handle the situation?
Well, I would use this opportunity to ask them to do well to train more dispatchers, have more of them at work, and reduce the pressure. If you ever knew the pressure in that control room, you will be sorry for those flight dispatchers that do us what I describe as thankless job. They do the hardest. I don't know if they earn the most, but we'll leave it at that. So let's create more opportunities, give more training to more people, and reduce the pressure so that this kind of error that caused this embarrassment will not happen again.
Okay, sir. Thank you for coming to our studios. That has been Dr. Godwin Ike, Aviation Analyst. And that concludes the News Lecture 6 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Vivian Izadif.